Have you ever felt like the life you carefully built is starting to crumble for no reason at all? What if I told you that this chaos is not a sign of failure, but the sacred sound of a massive blessing preparing to enter your life? Stay with me as we uncover the hidden signs that profound change is on its way. Before a diamond can shine, it must endure immense pressure. The same is true for a woman on the verge of her greatest blessing. If life is squeezing you right now, it's not to break you, it's to reveal the brilliance you were always meant to hold. Today, we explore the uncomfortable but beautiful process of divine preparation. There is a secret language the universe uses to speak to a woman right before it delivers her biggest miracles. It doesn't use words of comfort, it speaks in closed doors. Sudden goodbyes and a deep, unsettling feeling that everything is about to change. Today, we learn to translate that sacred language. Sometimes, in the quiet moments right before the biggest blessings enter a woman's life, she is guided through a process that may not always make sense to her logical mind. These moments are never random. They are profound, purposeful signs that something truly extraordinary is unfolding just behind the veil of what we can see. When a soul is being prepared for its own greatness, the journey often begins not with a loud announcement, but with a series of quiet, deeply personal signals. If you have been feeling a seismic shift within you and around you lately, then this message was meant to find you. When a blessing of great magnitude is near, life often takes an unexpected turn that can feel overwhelmingly uncomfortable. It's almost as if everything that was once steady and reliable begins to shift beneath your feet. Like sand, doors that were once wide open may suddenly, inexplicably close. Plans that once made perfect sense and felt so certain can begin to crumble into dust. People you thought would be in your life forever may begin to drift away. Like ships disappearing over the horizon, even the very things that used to bring you joy can start to feel hollow and empty. It can feel like your entire life is becoming unrecognizable, as if you are being pushed into situations you never wanted to face, down paths you never intended to walk. But please hear this. This discomfort is not designed to break you. It is designed to prepare you. When a woman stands on the precipice of receiving something truly great, the process almost always begins with pressure. Think of it like a magnificent seed buried deep within the earth. Before it can ever dream of reaching for the sun, the soil above it must crack, and the hard shell of the seed itself must break open. That breaking point is not an ending. It is a necessary, sacred beginning for growth to even be possible. Similarly, when your life feels like it's cracking apart at the seams, it may actually be the beginning of your most profound transformation. The discomfort forces you to move. It compels you to grow. It gently but firmly pulls you away from what is safe and familiar so that you can step into what is destined. Sometimes, this uncomfortable season is filled with moments where you question absolutely everything. You may wonder with a heavy heart why things aren't working out, why people are leaving, or why you are feeling so much resistance at every turn. But these moments are not a sign of failure. In fact, they are often the clearest indicators that you are on the path to something extraordinary. The divine will not allow you to remain in comfortable places when your soul is destined to soar higher. It will lovingly shake your environment, disturb your routines, and allow challenges to enter your life, all so that you can be pushed to your next level of strength and wisdom. This discomfort may show up as an emotional heaviness you can't explain, a deep restlessness in your spirit, or even a season where you feel completely and utterly lost. But this is all part of the sacred preparation. You are being lovingly stripped of the old versions of yourself that can no longer serve you in the new chapter you are about to enter. The pain has a purpose. The confusion has a role. It is all guiding you toward the very thing you have prayed for. Even if it doesn't look or feel like it yet, in these moments, it is so important to trust the process. The breaking, the closing, the shifting, they are all signs that something much bigger is on its way. Sometimes, the discomfort is not life punishing you, it is life positioning you. It is the beginning of your breakthrough. It is the first sacred step toward the blessing that has been written for you all along. One of the clearest signs that a woman is about to receive a life-changing blessing is that certain people, places, and habits begin to naturally fall away from her life. It may start subtly, like a quiet, gentle tide pulling away from the shore. A friend you once spoke to daily stops calling. A relationship that was once your anchor now feels distant and disconnected. Or you simply begin to lose interest in environments and activities you once genuinely enjoyed. At first, this can feel incredibly painful and deeply confusing. You might ask yourself, what did I do wrong? Why are these people drifting away? Why do I no longer feel connected to these parts of my life? But what you may not realize is that this is not an accident. It is a divine process of separation, a sacred clearing that is making space for what is truly meant for you. When you are moving towards something greater, not everyone in your life is meant to go with you. Some people were only assigned to a particular season of your journey. They were there to teach you a lesson, to support you through a hardship, or to accompany you for a specific time. But their beautiful role in your story has now been completed. Trying to desperately hold on to these connections, out of fear or obligation, can actually slow your growth or even prevent you from stepping fully into the blessing that awaits. This is why, as you prepare for something bigger, the universe will often begin to gently remove the people and things that can no longer walk alongside you on your new path. This process of separation can also include internal habits, negative thought patterns, and old ways of thinking. You may begin to feel a deep conviction about the things you used to tolerate in yourself and others. The old, draining cycles you once lived in start to feel deeply uncomfortable. Your spirit becomes more sensitive and aware, and you realize with newfound clarity that some habits, relationships, or environments are no longer healthy for your growth. It is as if your soul itself is whispering, "You can't take this with you where you are going." The things that once felt familiar and safe now feel heavy, stagnant, and out of place, and even though this season can feel like one of immense loss, it is actually an act of profound protection. It is alignment in motion. It is God clearing the roads so that you can move forward without carrying unnecessary baggage. If certain people are pulling away, If doors are closing, if you find yourself shedding old parts of your life like a snake sheds its skin, trust that it is not because you are being abandoned. It is because you are being elevated. The separation is painful, yes, but it is also necessary. This is a divine sign that your life is being rearranged to welcome something far better. Sometimes the blessing is so big that your current surroundings simply cannot hold it. What is not meant for you must be removed so that you can fully receive what is. Trust the process, especially when it hurts. The separation is not a sign of failure. It is a sign that your breakthrough is closer than you can possibly imagine. There also comes a moment in a woman's life when her spirit begins to awaken in ways she cannot fully explain. It often starts quietly as a gentle tug inside, a soft voice from her soul urging her to look deeper, to seek more than what she sees on the surface of her life. She may have gone through years focused on routines, responsibilities, and the things society tells her are important, but suddenly those very things begin to lose their shine, their flavor, their weight. She finds herself craving something else, something real, something lasting, something higher. This is the moment when her spirit truly starts to come alive. She begins to feel an unexplainable pull toward things that feed her soul. Where she once found satisfaction in shallow spaces and noisy distractions, she now seeks profound depth. She begins to long for quiet moments of reflection. She desires peace over popularity and purpose over fleeting, temporary pleasure. The need to connect with her higher self, with that wise, ancient part of her, becomes stronger and more urgent. She starts to listen more carefully to her inner voice, her intuition, realizing that the answers she's been searching for might not be out in the world, but have been patiently waiting within her all along. This awakening doesn't always look loud or dramatic. Sometimes it's as simple as an overwhelming feeling that the things she used to chase no longer fulfill her. In this sacred season, her priorities begin to shift organically. Her heart becomes more sensitive, more open. She might develop a deeper, more profound sense of gratitude, starting to recognize the small miracles woven into her everyday life. She feels more aware of how her choices, words, and actions align with her deepest values. Old distractions simply lose their grip on her. Things she once overlooked now carry a newfound weight and meaning. The way she loves, the way she forgives, the way she hopes, all of it begins to transform from the inside out. It's as though her eyes are truly opening for the very first time. This awakening may also stir a powerful hunger to understand spiritual truths on a deeper level. She might feel an increased desire to pray, to read sacred texts, to listen to wisdom, or simply to sit in silence and connect with something beyond herself. This connection starts to guide her steps, influencing her decisions and drawing her ever closer to her life's true calling. Even when she cannot fully explain what is happening to her, she knows in her heart that she is being prepared for something greater. What makes this spiritual awakening so potent is that it often comes right before a significant, life-altering blessing. It is as if her spirit must be aligned, her heart must be open, and her mind must be clear to fully and gracefully receive what is coming her way. She's no longer chasing empty things. She is preparing herself for something with eternal weight and substance. This quiet, internal transformation is one of the most powerful and beautiful signs that something magnificent is about to enter her life. So, the ground beneath you is shaking, the old is gracefully falling away, and a new, deeper part of you is awakening. These are the sacred signs of preparation, but there are other, even more subtle signals that a miracle is on the horizon. Signs that can show up in your dreams, in your energy, and in the strange and beautiful synchronicities that begin to appear in your daily life. We spoke of the shaking ground, the graceful goodbyes, and the sacred stirring of the soul. These are the profound signs of preparation. But as the blessing draws even closer, the universe begins to speak in a new language, not just of clearing away the old, but of beautifully arranging the new. Suddenly, life begins to align in ways that feel almost magical. Unexpected opportunities, like rays of light through the clouds, start to appear where she never saw them coming. These moments are not forced, chased, or manipulated into existence. They arrive naturally, effortlessly, and often in ways she could never have possibly planned. Doors that were once tightly shut and bolted begin to swing open with a gentle push. The right people seem to show up at exactly the right time, carrying a piece of the puzzle she was missing. Conversations happen, seemingly by chance, that lead to unexpected and wonderful breakthroughs. It's as if life itself is taking her by the hand and gently pulling her in the direction of her highest purpose. These sudden opportunities may arrive in many forms. It could be a new career path that honors her soul, a meaningful relationship that feels like coming home, a chance to move to a new place that her spirit has been yearning for, or a creative project that perfectly fits her unique gifts and passions. What is most important to recognize is that these doors open without a struggle. She doesn't have to beg for entry, chase after them relentlessly, or compromise her worth to step through them. Instead, they come to her in a way that feels deeply aligned with her heart and her growth. These are not mere distractions, they are divine arrangements, carefully and lovingly prepared just for her. Sometimes these opportunities seem small at first, almost easy to overlook. A brief conversation in a coffee shop that leads to something much bigger. A simple invitation that ends up changing everything. A tiny, intuitive decision that opens the entire pathway to her next level. That is why staying present and paying attention during this season is so important. Life often speaks in subtle whispers, and the opportunities that feel the most insignificant can carry the most life-changing potential. What's even more powerful is that these doors often open right in the middle of her deepest uncertainty. Just when she thought her life was standing still, movement begins. Just when she felt completely stuck, something miraculously shifts. It is a gentle reminder from the universe that divine timing is not always in her control. But her period of preparation was never, ever wasted. All those moments where she felt overlooked, delayed, or forgotten were actually setting the stage for her to walk into these new spaces with the wisdom, resilience, and strength she had gained. These divine opportunities will never require her to betray herself. They feel right in her soul, even if they are challenging. There is a sense of peace that accompanies them, a deep knowing that she is on the right path, even when the next steps aren't fully clear. When she walks through these open doors, she often looks back and realizes they were not random at all. They were the direct answers to prayers she may have whispered into the universe long ago. When life starts opening doors that align with her purpose, it is a beautiful, undeniable confirmation that she is stepping into the very season she was being prepared for. These opportunities are the visible signs that her blessing is not only near, it is already beginning to unfold. There is also a certain kind of restlessness that begins to grow inside a woman when she is approaching a life-changing blessing. It is not the same as anxiety or impatience. It is a deep, persistent, and quiet feeling that something bigger is coming, even though she may not be able to see any physical evidence of it yet. This restlessness isn't born from dissatisfaction with her current life, but rather from a quiet inner knowing that she is being pulled towards something greater. It is like a single, resilient spark has been lit deep inside her, and no matter how much she tries to ignore it or distract herself with daily routines, it keeps burning, gently reminding her that her story is about to shift in a profound way. She may find herself losing interest in things that once fully captured her attention. Conversations that used to excite her may now feel shallow and unfulfilling. Places where she once felt completely at home may now seem too small for her expanding spirit. She begins to crave something new, something with deeper meaning and substance. It's as if her spirit inherently knows her current surroundings are no longer big enough to hold the next, more expansive version of her life. Even when everything around her looks exactly the same, she can feel that change is approaching on the horizon. This restlessness pushes her to dream bigger, to ask for more from life, and to prepare her heart for what's to come. During this season, it is common for her to feel torn between the comfort of the familiar and the pull of her calling. She may try to settle, to convince herself that what she has is good enough, but the feeling doesn't go away. It continues to rise within her, sometimes in the quiet moments of the morning, sometimes when she's surrounded by noise. It follows her into her daily routines, shows up in her thoughts, and gently whispers, "You are meant for more." This is not greed or impatience. It is a divine nudge, a spiritual preparation for the blessing that lies ahead. The restlessness can also make her feel as though she is in a sacred waiting room, suspended between the life that was and the life that is to come. She might not have all the answers yet, but she knows with certainty that she is being prepared. It's during this time that she often begins to make small, intuitive changes, even without fully understanding why. She might start setting new boundaries, shifting her focus, or stepping away from things that no longer feel aligned with her soul. All of this is part of her spirit getting ready to receive. The beauty of this sacred restlessness is that it refuses to let her settle for less than she deserves. It drives her to keep moving, to keep growing, and to keep believing, even when nothing visible has changed yet. It is a holy sign that something is unfolding behind the scenes, and that soon, her external world will catch up with the promise her heart already knows to be true. Finally, there is something truly powerful about experiencing a peace that doesn't make logical sense. When a woman is on the verge of receiving a great blessing, one of the clearest and most profound signs is that she begins to carry an unexplainable calm deep within her. This isn't the kind of peace that comes because everything in her life is going perfectly right. It is the kind of peace that stands strong and centered even when things are uncertain, challenging, or shifting all around her. It settles deep in her spirit, quietly reassuring her, you are exactly where you need to be. This peace isn't something she has to chase or force into existence. It arrives softly, like a quiet, comforting friend who comes to sit beside her in the middle of life's noise. She may still have unanswered questions, unfinished battles, or mountains she has not yet climbed, but somehow she is no longer overwhelmed by them. She is no longer fighting to control every outcome. She understands, on a soul level, that the blessing coming her way is already in motion, and she does not have to manipulate the process. This profound peace tells her to rest, to trust, and to simply breathe, because what is meant for her will find her at the perfect time. It is often during these moments, when most people would expect her to panic or give up, that this unusual peace rises within her. The deadlines, the disappointments, the delays, none of them shake her the way they used to. She begins to walk with a quiet confidence, not because everything is perfect, but because her spirit is anchored in something far bigger than her circumstances. There is a silent strength in knowing that even though she cannot see the full picture, she can feel that something beautiful is on its way. This peace also shifts the way she carries herself in the world. She becomes less reactive. She no longer feels the need to explain herself, prove her worth, or force doors to open. She knows that what is hers cannot be taken from her, and so she moves with a steady, unhurried grace that others can feel, even if they don't understand it. People may wonder why she isn't worried, why she isn't rushing, why she seems so sure of something unseen. It is because she has found peace in the sacred act of waiting. What makes this peace so special is that it often arrives just before the blessing manifests. It's like a final signal from the divine that the preparation is complete. What she's been waiting for is already on its way. She doesn't need to see it to believe it. She already feels its presence. This calm is not weakness. It is quiet, powerful proof that her faith is working, that her heart is ready, and that her blessing is near. So you see, when a woman is about to be blessed with something extraordinary, life begins to speak to her in these quiet, powerful ways. It speaks through the discomfort that pushes her to grow, through the separation that makes space for the new, and through the spiritual awakening that attunes her heart. It speaks through unexpected opportunities that feel like grace, through a deep restlessness that calls her higher, and finally, through an unexplainable peace that confirms she is ready. These signs are not mere coincidences. They are divine signals, lovingly preparing her heart, mind, and life to receive what has always been meant for her, even when the process feels uncertain or challenging. You can trust that everything is unfolding with a divine purpose. The blessing is not just on the way, it's already been written for you in the stars. And soon, It will arrive in its perfect, beautiful time. All you have to do is keep your heart open, keep walking in faith, and trust the beautiful, unfolding mystery of your life. If this message found you in your season of waiting and preparation, and it resonated with your soul, I invite you to become part of our community. Subscribe to the channel for more wisdom to guide you on your path. There is so much more to share on this beautiful journey. Thank you for being here. Trust the process.